Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Kian, and in today's video we are gonna do something new. Well, I'm gonna do something new and I want to give a new type of video to you guys. As you know, I'm a racing driver. Well, I'm mostly a sim racer and I am working really hard to get that racing driver title. I'm racing under the YRDA Motorsport team. I got scouted by the team and I got into that. What I want to do is to show some tips to you guys, to show some sim racing tips, and to share some things that I've got, and maybe it really helps you. Maybe you've never heard of these things, and maybe I'm just better for you than someone else. Everyone has their own type of coaching, everyone has their own type of tips, so I'd recommend you to watch this video and see if you can use it and adapt it into your racing. So let's go. So for the first part, we're gonna do braking. We're gonna start with some braking. I don't know if I can get everything inside of one video, but I'm definitely gonna try it. So we're gonna start talking about braking and what is a good braking technique and what is it also varies per car, it also varies per track, but what is a good braking technique in general. And we're gonna start with the basics and maybe get more advanced in another video. But today we're gonna start with the basics, and I'm also gonna show a very, very good app for while sim racing. So let's get into the video. So firstly, to start, I want to quickly explain what analysis are. So we have analysis in sim racing and racing. Every racing driver has their own analysis, and probably you have seen this before in your life. It looks like a lot of weird lines. And you might think, what the hell is this? You know, you see your throttle lines, so it's your inputs, your braking inputs, your steering inputs. Perhaps you know what it means, but you just don't know what is good or not. And today I want to teach you what a good braking shape is and how you can recognize a good braking shape inside of those lines. But first, I want to share an app that that's free. It's totally free. And it will always show those lines after you've driven a session. It only works for iRacing, by the way. Head over to the internet, go to Garage 61. And as you can see, I already have it installed. You have to install Garage 61 so it can recognize your sessions. I will go to the, let's go to my last session, Formula 4 on Nürburgring. It was the short sprint Nürburgring. And as you can see, I can see how much fuel I used, what my sector times were, if I got off track or not. Well, I got pretty much. And what my fastest lap time was. It was a 1:28.890. This was not the best session, but that doesn't matter. And as you can see, I've didn't even use a liter of fuel. And as you can see, all the lines, speed, throttle, brake, gear, and steering wheel angle, it's all inside of here. As you also can see, I can see my racing lines, I can see the sectors, I can see the gaps, I can see my own lap time. I can also add lap, and I can also compare it with other people. I'm the only person who driven on the Formula 4 on this Nürburgring, on the whole world. Well, not the whole world, but everyone on Garage 61. But if everyone decides to use this app, we will actually be able to compare laps with a lot of more people. So let's go to my analytics of analysis of my Nürburgring session with the Formula 4. And as you can see, if you don't understand what's standing here, it's like Chinese for you if you don't speak Chinese. And as you can see, it's a lot to talk about, and I want to get those points in this series. But today I'm just gonna start with braking. I don't know if I can complete it in this video, but we're just gonna start it. So what I can do is I can press my left mouse button and then select this part, and then I can actually watch it more closer. As you can see, the track is blue. This is where I selected. I can also follow myself when it follows everything. It's a great app. Please install it. Link in the description. As you can see, I can look at my braking, and to also warn, this is not the best braking shape what there is, but it was pretty good on this track combination. So what I also want to say is that the basic braking shape that I'm going to show today is not always the good braking shape. So I'm actually gonna go to a good braking shape, which is right. Let's say this is the best looking standard braking shape. I want to have a bit of a bigger view. So as you know, this is the corner. I don't know what turn it is actually, but it is the turn that comes after the first couple of. It's in the ring, and as you can see, it's not a very hard braking zone. So in this red box where I am at my mouse right now, I can see how much brake pressure I applied, and now it might be a lot. It might make a lot more sense at this point for you. So as you can see, 65% brake, and it's here 66 actually, and then it's just decreasing to a lot of a lower value. It's actually rising a bit, increasing a little bit, and then it's decreasing again. And then I can just get out the corner, and as you can see on the top of this, I'm going on throttle, and for the Formula 4, it's a bit slower on throttle than normally, but it is still fast. And here I want to take you guys with me for something. So this is the chicane, I believe. Yeah, this is the big chicane at the end of the track, the GP chicane, which is actually a very hard braking zone. As you can see, this is my brake shape, which I am pointing out right now. And my first throttle brake application was 92%. That's almost 100%. I did not like the lock the tires. If I did lock the tires, I could see that right here. It's that good, this application. First hit, 92%, and then I'm just decreasing the amount slowly. As you can see at the left, my dot is also getting to the corner more and more. And then it decreased a lot more, staying on the brakes for a little bit for rotation. And then I removed it. So this is a good braking shape. I want to show you what a slow driver does and what a pretty quick driver does, or the fast drivers. But I want to say quick driver for now, because you're not immediately a fast driver if you use this technique, but you will be much quicker, at least a second per lap, if you use it correctly. So what a slow driver most of the times does, I can show you a million of examples, but this is a really good example. So the slow driver brakes for about, I'd say, this is 50%. Then he's on 50%, but he goes up. He goes up to 100%. This is 100%. And then he goes a bit down, but he goes up again. And he goes down, and then it's just flat. This is a braking shape of a slow driver. I can show you a lot of more examples. Let's make another one. Let's say he applies to this amount of percent, then he applies to this amount of percent, then it's down, then it's a bit, oh, he brakes to less, then it's down again, and then it's a bit up, and then it's down. This is a good example of a very, very bad braking shape. So I'm going to explain to you all the things that are bad to this. Firstly, your first hit should always be the highest hit. So your first hit should be the peak of your braking shape. Every braking shape, throttle shape, etc., 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 has a peak. And a peak means the highest amount of pressure or application. In your braking shape, your first hit should be the hardest braking shape. So let's say for this shape, like this is the brake, and we press it. This is 100%. Of course, a load cell brake, it's not going further down. It's just, hard braking. So let's say this guy, he brakes a little bit, and then he actually applies a bit more, and then he decreases it. Oh, he braked too less. He should brake a bit more, and then, okay, decreased immediately, and then waiting, throttle, 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 throttle. A bit tapping it, which is also bad, but another video for that. That is what this guy does. And that is bad, because the first hit, as you can see, is about, well, what is it? I think it is, well, it's maybe 40%. And then from 40% he goes up to, well, a bit of 50%. And then from 50% he goes up to 100%, back to 60, to 100, back to 60, and then to, well, what is it, 80 for a little second, and then 0 immediately. So it's not like trailing it off, it is boom. Now I want to show you what a trail breaker does. And you probably heard of this word before. A trail breaker is someone who is a good driver. The best braking technique, and it really takes a long time to get this right, but the best braking technique is trail braking. It's not for every corner, it's not for every car, but in general, it is trail braking, and you should be able to get the technique right to be a quick driver. A very average and good shape for a trail breaker is the first hit. Wait, I can't draw a straight line. Is the first hit to be like this. This is 100%. Then we just keep it a short amount of time on it, and we're gonna immediately trail. You know, trailing is slowly trailing it off the brakes. So we're gonna immediately trail off the brakes. We're gonna, you know, we're just trailing it into the corner. And what you're doing at this point, I'm not done with drawing the shape, but what we are doing at this point is we are actually rotating the car on the brakes. If someone tells you to rotate the car, to turn the car into the corner by braking, it's not that you're literally turning the car in by braking, but because we're trail braking, you don't have to turn in a lot with your steering wheel to actually be able to turn it to the corner. Because we're trailing, the rotation in the back is getting into that corner by itself. You really have to feel it to know. But if you look at the other braking shape, the car is first, it's stable. It feels stable if you brake at 40%. Then you brake at 100%, and then you might lock up the brakes, or you just, the ABS hits, so your car is straight. Because if your ABS hits, the car is absolutely straight. Then you're decreasing it a little bit. Okay, it's again stable, but it's not turning in. Then 100%, maybe some ABS, maybe there is no ABS and you lock your brakes. But if there is ABS, well, and if you lock your brakes, you're going straight again. And then you just remove the thing, and then you have to still turn in. You have not turned in for the corner, you've only slowed down. And then you still have to turn in, cost a lot of time. If you trail brake, you are already turning in by braking, and you just have to feel that. So perhaps for trail brake, sometimes we're just gonna keep it like that and slowly trailing it off and off. What a trail braking for a feet looks like. We're driving, we're coming to the corner, we brake, and we just slowly braking it off. Just holding it here for a little second. Depends on the corner, you really have to feel it, and then it's off. As you can see, this is what a quick driver is. And if we go to this bit, this is not bad. This is just an example. This is just how it looks like. Sometimes you can throw it off immediately. And sometimes you have to keep it a little bit on the brakes to also still make the corner. A very big benefit of trail braking, and there are a lot of benefits of trail braking. Well, the first one, of course, is turning into the corner by braking. That's what I already explained. Secondly, you can brake much later. Because you are turning in by braking, you don't have to turn in after slowing down, because a slow driver is slowing down the car and then he still needs to turn in. But because you're trail braking, you're already turning in by braking. So you're already turning in, and then you only have to brake. You only have to turn in a little bit more, you know, because it's just a bit more, and then you're into the corner already. So that's another big benefit. You can brake much later. It looks like you're actually applying a lot less brakes than a slow driver, but you are actually braking a lot more. Okay, so as I've explained to you, as a trail braker, you can brake much later. I have a question for you. Okay, so if a slow driver does this, he's braking, he hits 100% at the first stop, he's holding it at 100%, and he's going down. Is the slow driver now able to brake later and still make the corner than the quick driver? Well, the answer is yes. He is able to brake later and still make the corner. But now I'm going to change the question. Is the slow driver able to make the corner and to be quick, as quick or maybe quicker than the quick driver while trail braking? Of course it's not. As you can see, the slow driver is applying a lot more brakes. He is fucking up the brakes a lot more, and he is actually using the brakes a lot more than the quick driver. But what the slow driver is doing again, he is just slowing down the car. He's using the brakes to slow down the car, and then he still needs to turn in. Quick driver is already turning in by trail braking. That's just what I said. That's a good example. All right, so imagine if you're a quick driver, you know, imagine if you're gonna hit it 100%, you're gonna trail it off easily, maybe hold it a little bit here, easily, and you're at the bottom, and then you actually do that. As you can see, we have a little spike. Spike can also look like, oh, that's a bit big. Spike can also look like this, but let's say we have this spike. I'm gonna actually mark it for you guys. So imagine if we have this spike, and You might think, okay, so I was trail braking and I actually am trail braking. I'm braking more than I did a second before. Well, not a second before, a millisecond before. And my question to you is that spike good or not good? Well, the spike is good, but it depends, because that little spike there helps you for an extra rotation. Imagine Nürburgring turn 1 and you're just braking right before the 100-meter board. You're shifting down to second gear, you're turning in like this, but you're just not turning in, just not enough. You know, you're just not hitting the apex. You can give it another spike because you're braking later than when you would do if you just brake, absolutely push the brakes 100% for seconds. Because you're not doing that and you're actually more gentle with the brakes and more smooth with the brakes, you are allowed to give it a little spike for extra rotation, and it's actually as quick, or in those situations quicker, than not using it. So yes, if your brake shape looks like that with a little spike, yes, it's absolutely good. Okay, so to look back from this video, what I've explained to you, everything. Firstly, trail braking, you should learn that. It's gonna take a long time for you to learn it, but start today and you will see progress immediately. And I bet you'll learn it in about 3 to 4 weeks. So start today, use it every time, use a lot of sessions to just learn it and absolutely nail it, because it's the best thing that you can do. Braking is one of the most, well, in my opinion, the most important thing in racing. What you also should do, in my opinion, it's of course my opinion, go to Garage 61 and install it and use it. Use it. Learn to use analyzers and watch my videos to actually learn to use those analyzers, because it's the best thing you can have. You will never drive the fastest lap that you can. You will never reach your full potential without using analyzers. So do it. Please just do it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. This was the basics of braking. I want to get more advanced in other videos, but this is where we're going to start. I don't want to give too much information in one video to you guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you in the next part and in the next video.